Hi everyone, my name is Juliet and I'm an integrated body worker. I help active professionals permanently alleviate pain through physical, emotional, and energetic alignment. Now that it's March, I'm seeing so many people outside running and getting active again, and I'm feeling exactly the same way. I'm done with the cabin fever and I'm ready to move and shake. So I think it's really important to have your body in alignment before you actually exercise. So many people come into my office and have hurt themselves because their body is out of alignment and they're lifting crazy weights or running or doing whatever it is that they're doing. So today I'm going to give you 3 exercises that will put your lower body into the right place so that you're not going to injure yourself when you're active. So the first pose that I want to go over is called supported bridge. Supported bridge is a restorative yoga pose, but it also helps to realign your pelvis, which is great. So this is your pelvis. Your pelvis has 2 ilium. This is an ilium, one on each side, and in the back it has your sacrum. So your sacrum right here is part of your pelvis, but it's also part of your spine. And if you feel around in the back, it's the flat part of the back of your pelvis. And it kind of creates an upside down triangle in the back. So the sacrum can torque, so it can rotate right or left, and it can also tilt right or left. There are a lot of muscles inside, outside, up top, in the back, everywhere around here, that push and pull on the pelvis, so it's actually really easy for your pelvis to get out of alignment. But when your pelvis is out of alignment, it allows you to work differently on the right side as opposed to the left side, and that's where a majority of things start to happen, I find, when clients come in. So so I think it's important to realign that. So supported bridge does that, which is great. So you need a yoga block for this. This is a 4-inch yoga block, which I think is the perfect height for this. And if you don't have a yoga block, you can stack together a couple of big books. You just want to put a towel around them so that it's a little bit kinder on your body. And you want to make sure that it's right around 4 inches. You don't want to go a lot bigger or a lot smaller. And also, if you've done supported bridge before and you've done it on other settings, you really want to do it on the lowest setting possible, because you don't want to put your body into a crazy place, because it's really, really restorative, So you want the block to be over your sacrum. So hopefully you can get a feel for this. So you're going to lay on your back on the floor, and you're going to bring your belly button to your spine to support your low back. You're going to push your feet into the floor to lift your hips up and put the block underneath your sacrum. You want to make sure that the block is not too high, so it's over your low back. It's really over the back of your pelvis. So here's my belly button, and here is where the block is. So if I feel my hip points in the front, it's pretty much right around there, and I have a long torso. So this is supported bridge. If you feel on one side kind of like a pinching feeling, this pose is amazing for you, because that means that your sacrum is out of alignment and you really want to put it back to the right place. So you want to stay here for 10 deep breaths or 5 minutes, whichever feels like things have calmed down in your pelvis. You can do some belly breathing to relax all the muscles that support this area. Belly breathing, you inflate the belly on the inhale and then relax on the exhale. You can have your hands here to help guide you, or you can have your palms face up and your arms down by your sides. You want to make sure to keep the chest open. I have a tendency to do this, so you want to do that. And you want to have your head face up. So you just stay here and do some belly breathing until things kind of calm down. When you're ready to come out of the pose, again, you want to bring your belly button to your spine to support the low back. Push your feet into the floor, lift your hips up, and take the block out and kindly roll your spine down. And now you should feel a flatness in the back of your pelvis. So everything is kind of soft and supple, and it's moved back into the place that is most supportive to you. The next exercise is called toe stretch. I find that a lot of people have tightness and restriction in the bottom of their feet, and that's not supportive to your whole body. If you think about it, your whole body rests on your feet all the time. You stand on them, you walk on them. So if there's tightness and restriction in the bottom of your feet, what do you think is going on in the rest of your body? So this stretch opens up the bottoms of your feet, and in turn also opens up the hamstrings. So if you're one of those people with tight hamstrings, maybe you should start in your feet first and then go into the hamstrings. So for this pose, you're going to tuck your toes underneath your body and put your weight on them. If you do have really tight feet, this is going to be really intense for you. You can start and lean forward so your body weight is on your hands, which are on your thighs, but you're not going to get as deep of an opening. You're not going to get as many benefits until you get to the point where you're here. But if this is where you are today, you definitely need this, and this is totally fine. So you want to work up to getting your body weight over your feet. So you're going to stay in this pose, in this stretch, for 90 seconds. 90 seconds is the amount of time it takes your brain to create a pattern. So we want your brain to register that we want openness in the feet to support your body to be more supple and more reflexive. So you want to stay here for 90 seconds. You can do some belly breathing, that always helps. You also want to remember to create a long spine. So you want to put your hand on top of your head and then push your head into your hand so that you create length in your spine and some traction just by your muscles. So have a nice long spine while you're here. Stay here for 90 seconds. And it's kind of mind over matter. As soon as the pose is over, the pain goes away. So if it's really intense for you, just try to breathe through it and it'll get better after 90 seconds. So the last pose is called big toes down, little toes up. I find that a lot of clients, once they start running, they're surprised at how much their feet and their lower legs hurt. And that's because they don't actually use their feet the way that they're supposed to. The reason why we have toes is to push off to walk forward. So not everybody uses their toes to walk. You know, think about how you walk. Are you kind of just moving through space, or are you actually working through your feet to take you forward? So this exercise strengthens the feet to help support the body as a whole. So you want to stand up and have your feet about hip width apart, whatever that feels like to you. You're going to leave your big toes down and you're going to lift all the other toes. So if when you did this, you felt maybe your inner arches and your feet and your knees come in, this is super helpful for you. You also want to think about wrapping the lower legs around the back like this to keep your inner arches raised and your feet on the floor. So on your foot, you want to have your weight even on all 4 points of your foot. So if you're like this, the pinky toe side is not on the floor. So you want to keep all 4 points of contact and weight distributed evenly. So you want to stay here, again, for 90 seconds. 90 seconds is the amount of time it takes your brain to form a pattern, to create a pattern. So stay here for 90 seconds. And not everybody's going to have their toes all the way up. You know, if your toes aren't used to working, it's going to be hard to actually get them off the floor. So the more you do this, the more your brain recognizes that this is a pattern, and the more your feet will strengthen. So this is great for you. When you come out of this, you can try just walking through space, you know, and see if you're pushing off the floor with your toes or if you're not even using them. So I hope that this video was helpful. I hope that these exercises help strengthen your lower body so that you are supported and so that you don't hurt yourself on a regular basis. If you have any questions about these exercises or any questions about anything, feel free to drop me a comment in the bottom of this video or send me an email. I'd love to help in any way that I know how. I hope you have a lovely rest of March. Hopefully the snow is away for good, and I'll see you next month. Bye-bye.